Today we're going to check out a new electronic throttle enhancement device from SCT. This is the SCT Burst fitting all 2011 through 2021 Mustangs. Now, what is an electronic throttle enhancement device? Well, in your modern Mustang, the throttle is electronic, basically meaning that it gets voltage from the gas pedal and the throttle opens, unlike a cable used on previous years. What this does, it plugs into the gas pedal and basically allows for the gas pedal to be more sensitive and allows it to be adjusted as well. What that means is you get more throttle with less pedal effort, which can create better downshifts, less turbo lag, and make the car a lot more fun to drive. The best part about this, you don't have to flash anything, it's a simple installation, and it's made right here in the USA. There's three parts of the unit. This is the brain of the unit itself. It's gonna plug right in here. This will plug in line for your factory gas pedal, and then this is the controller. Now the controller is optional, you don't have to use it. If you don't use it, it gives you a preset enhancement, but this will allow you to actually adjust it. We're gonna be installing the SCT Burst on our 2015 50th anniversary GT. Now, like I said, the connections are at the throttle, which is underneath your dashboard, so it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but we'll get there as best we can and show you how to do the installation. Now, again, like I said, it's hard to see, but if you follow the gas pedal all the way up, you'll see this plug right here on top. You're gonna disconnect that and then plug the Burst in its place. Push this red tab up, then kind of squeeze the plug to pop it off. Make sure it clicks. And the main unit's installed. Grab the other end of the harness, grab your control unit here, plug that into the clicks. Take this harness here and connect it to the controller. And the kit includes zip ties and stuff. Make sure you tie this safely up out of the way. So the controller for the Burst can be mounted a bunch of different ways. You've got screw holes if you want to screw it in. It also includes double stick tape. Now in our case, we literally just fished it up so I can hold it and show you how it works. Now when you have it on 0, basically it works just like factory. And then these are different, we'll call them percentages of how much control the throttle is getting. So you can adjust it all the way up to 100%, which will make it pretty much really sensitive. For most people in the 25 to 50 is kind of preferred, but again, it's personal preference and mess with it when you drive it. I'm gonna start off on 0. We'll just drive it like normal. That's an S550. We're very used to the throttle on it. Right now we'll start it and do 25 here. And it takes way less pressure. Response is definitely noticeably different. The same thing at 50. Like 75. 75 is really noticeable. Now it becomes, I mean, you barely tap the throttle and you're getting a lot more throttle than you used to. What it's doing is, basically when you give it like 25% throttle, this will make it almost like you're giving it like 50 to 75%. That's basically where you're getting a lot of your more responsive from. And we'll pin it to see what it does. Yeah, at 100, it's extremely sensitive. I mean, I'm really barely on the throttle. I can feel a huge difference. That honestly is probably a bit much for me. Let's go back to around 50. And again, you can adjust on the fly. But you can almost feel it. Like if you hold the gas kind of, you know, we're keeping it barely pushed down. You can actually hear the car accelerate by turning it up. Pretty crazy. It's almost like I'm adjusting the throttle by this, which in theory really I am. Yeah, again, holding it at 3 grand steady. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yeah, you can actually hear the car accelerating because the throttle gets more sensitive. I'm gonna stick with around the 50. That's kind of where I like it the best. Now, the first time you put this in your car, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, my car's so much faster. It isn't. This is not a power adder, it's not adding horsepower, but it's making the power you have easier to use. And what that does, you know, when you're giving it gas, it's more responsive. So when you give it a little bit of throttle, you're getting more throttle, so you're getting more power, So no, it's not actually any faster, even though it feels a lot faster because again, the throttle response is so much better. Now, and this technology is something that, even Ford uses. If you ever drive an S550 and put it in snow and wet mode, you notice the throttle becomes really, really dull. Like you can give it half throttle and it doesn't really give it a lot. It's basically the same idea. What this is doing is instead of having like just one mode like that, it gives you a lot more control over it as the end user. And again, you can adjust it how you see fit. I found for me, that I would say that between 25 and 50 feels the best for me, where I can definitely feel the throttle is more sensitive, but it's not almost like it's too much. Like when I went to 100, it was really, really sensitive and it almost gave me like, the response was almost too much. But again, it's personal preference, and that's the beauty of being able to adjust it, is you can fine tune it for your particular driving style. The SCT Burst will make the throttle in your Mustang a lot more responsive, which can make it a lot more fun to drive, and it's very, very easy to install. All you should take about 10 to 15 minutes, be back on the road in no time.